Being a man is hard these days, isn't it? With all of these Hollywood movies of big super buff guys with no brains, and gangsters who are so violent they don't even know how to lead each other. No wonder you and I and other men don't seem to have an idea of where we're going and what it's like to simply be a man. But I have to argue, there's probably more role models around you than you think. They're probably closer than you think, and they are probably showing elements of manhood. At least I know it for me, and I'm sure you and your friends have that as well. First of all, those Hollywood movies, forget like 90% of what they're showing you. You're gonna see these oversized men with full of muscles and are all big, and they just go up and beat up the bad guys. All right, they can fight, but look, I'm skinny, I'm smaller than they are, I'm probably more of a man than they are. At least I have my brains and intelligence. If you're going to survive this world, of course you need to be able to fight sometimes, but most of the time you're not even gonna fight. You're gonna fight in like different things. You're gonna fight for your work, probably fight for certain values, and probably fight to have your family and your friends and those that you like around you, or just give a care about, alive and well. So you need brains if you're gonna survive in this world. Yeah, you need muscles. You gotta be strong. It's good. Being strong, being able to think in terms of courage, these things are also necessary, but most of the time you're not actually gonna go into wars. Okay, I get it. If you're in war, if you're a soldier, you have your manliness intact. But if you're out of war, why should you go into gangster style, where you go into your family and you go from being a leader to a tyrant? Yes, I said that right. You go from being a king or a good leader to being a tyrant, an oppressor. It's like if you're with your family and you want to be a man, does that mean you have to start trashing your significant others and people that you like about? Do you have to treat them with contempt and try to make them bend to your will? Hey, do this for me. Do this because I want to be the man of the household. It's like, since when does being man have to be equated with violence? I'm sure you could be a man just by having courage. Like courage, you can be strong, you can have determination and willpower, and you can even respect people. It's like, hey, you have people that you care about. A man can have a heart and he can have courage as hard as iron. But why does he have to impose it like an immature brat or a jerk or a toxic person on top of some people that he cares about? No wonder we are fighting wars and wars and more wars throughout our history. Some people just don't know how to get along. But you can be a man and you can actually get along fabulously with a woman or with other men in ways that you're not fighting. You're actually getting along. You know what makes people tick, and you're actually friends. And then the world is actually a much better place. The world is stronger, and we got friends all around you. And you don't have to worry about fighting and ripping up each other and trying to be gangsters. So, see, we got men who are going around trying to go gangster style in the hood and fight each other and strike each other down. It doesn't matter what race you are, whether you're white or black or Asian or Mexican, we all got them in certain parts where you think, hey, there's a gangster, and in order to be a man, you gotta be violent. No, let me tell you about gangsters as far as my eyes can see. They're nothing like the movies. Gangsters, as far as I can see in my experience, are basically boys in men's bodies who don't know who they are, don't know what they want out of life, bored, and think that being a man means they get to break some windows and try to get away with it. And they are jealous of other guys or boys who have higher status than them, and out of jealousy they want to tear them down and raise themselves up as the man, only to get torn down the next day. That is a gangster for you. And their lives are not nearly as glamorous as it seems. All they do is do some crazy stuff, and then the police show up and we're all looking at them get thrown in the car for some crime that they did. So much for manhood. Manhood is equated, or should be equated with being a leader. It's like you could go to work, make yourself some money and wealth, and gain power in that respectable way in that world. You don't have to be the absolute alpha male. You could just be the man of your domain and world where you actually have a say in what you're doing. You actually put yourself together, you go after your dreams and your goals, and you have that heart of iron and steel, but you actually got people that you care about. Just like a lion. A lion has their cubs. The lion has their own family. You don't see the male lion trying to beat up on the other women. The male lion is just sort of there, proud in itself, and he could still get along with his other friends and whatever and the cub. But we're not lions, we're humans, and humans could get along. Even we could be more manly than even those lions. But that's my point. Being a man doesn't mean you have to be jealous of some others and strike them down and then create a fight and create a war. Ultimately, world wars and all that stuff. You could actually be chill, and you can actually have a brain. You don't have to be all oversized and muscular. You could just be natural. You don't have to be on steroids. You can be natural and be a real freaking man, not an exaggerated Hollywood image that will never exist. Oh, and by the way, you take steroids for the rest of your life, maybe 10 years down the line or 20, your body's going to be messed up. You call that being a man? No. If you want to be strong, you got to keep yourself healthy and strong naturally, because being a man is a natural thing, and you want to use natural means to be naturally strong, mentally resilient, and all of that stuff when the stressful things come. So thank you very much. That's my thoughts on being a man and being a manhood. Don't be like a gangster. They're not men, they're boys in men's bodies.